Hey, John here again. So I recently got some e-bikes and I went to transport them on my universal bike rack, and yeah, no good. They don't fit, meaning this particular type, which I like this type. I'll show you in a sec, but you know, your wheels just fit in this groove here, and then well, let me put a mortal bike on there, a pedal bike, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hold on a second. Okay, so it's basically that, and the way this works is, you know, you can clip your tire, or, you know, it's a safety measure so it won't bounce out of there. However, they got Velcro straps that, you know, you can slide this up so your forks don't touch here. Little tube of rubber or whatever, and you would just Velcro around your fork, you know, like this, to pinch it to that rail. And same thing with the back rail somewhere. Just, you know, pinch it and Velcro it to that. So it worked good. There's a few things I don't like about this rack, but I'm going to keep it because, you know, I haven't looked to see if there's an e-bike rack, but I'm a cheapskate, so I'm going to modify this one. And I like this one because this is a same thing over here. You could put a bicycle on the inside as well, regular bike. You know, they have provisions for, so you got two bikes there, and it's also got this extension where you can hook two more bikes up out here, and I'm going to need that because these fat bikes are obviously fatter, and the problem I have is when you stick it in this cradle, it doesn't fit in the cradle good, and it's this piece here isn't extended out far enough, you know, because when you try to put, I would try to put it on, but they're heavy, so you just have to take my word that when you try to put it on the bike, it's kind of tweaked at an angle, and you can't get it in the cradle right, and everything on the back, especially that girly bike over there with the fender, everything's touching and impeding, and there's, no matter where you put these adjustments, couldn't get it to work. They just won't sit right. Okay, so there's another set of bars put on, and it just goes into like the end of this receiver, and then this just gets, it's got like a taper to it. It doesn't really screw in there. It's not threaded, but it screws down to it and holds it from you know, coming in and out. Or it does twist a little bit, but part of the problem with this, you know, I like it because it's you know, they're easy to come on and off. You just put the tube on, you know. So I like it because it's portable. Everything breaks down. You could store it easy, and you don't have too much of a problem. But I don't like some of the things like, let me put this pin in here and show you. This pin, when it's in there, secures it from, you know, falling out. But going down the road, you're going to get some, you see the movement there? I don't really like, you hit bumps and stuff, and these things bobble around pretty good. With that, you know, receiver hitch pinned in there, it stiffens it up a lot. And when the bike's around here, it does weigh it down a little bit, but these bikes don't weigh exactly, you know, they're not high-end bikes. They're metal or steel, but or whatever they're made out of. I don't think they're aluminum. They might be aluminum, but they're not high-end, so they're pretty heavy anyways. And when you hit bumps, you know, things get twisted, and, you know, going down the road, I've had it for years and nothing's ever happened. They always stay on. But I'm a little bit worried about these bikes because I don't think they're twice the weight, but they are pretty heavy. And you put the batteries on there, they make them even heavier. So I do have to do some modifications, definitely, to the mechanisms on the end to extend this, to accept it. And this V is just not going to work. The wheels on, you know, a normal bike are fine because they're thinner, but the wheels on that are much fatter, and it just won't sit right. So, and I don't know if I'm sure this stock metal will handle the weight. I mean, you know, that's pretty stout because it's not that long, but I have to go longer to accept, you know, it would be this way. I'd have to go longer to accept to get the bike away from the frame here. I need to measure it so, you know, it comes down where it's going to rest on here, but right now it's just, it just won't fit where this is. Alright, so I guess I put one up there just to show you what I'm talking about. It sticks out like a mile, but see, so I'm saying that it's also the rack ain't helping, but so that's why I gotta make something that goes deeper. As you can see, it's tweaked, and there's no way you're gonna go down a road like that. It's just I mean, I guess you could, but I'm not gonna. I want it resting, you know, the frame resting up against the upright. So first order business, I think, is to get rid of this thing, but let me strip it down just to, because I think this stuff is hard plastic, because basically this is a, it's kind of pretty neat idea, but yeah, this is just, oh, it's actually an insert. So I'm going to need this bugger. So it's just basically a piece of C-channel, a little more than that, but and then of course when you crank down the thumb wheel, it clamps it to that one upright. So I'm going to save this piece. Could probably make something like this, but why would you? It's right here. So I'll just zap this off and use this as a piece. So that's run it. Alright, so I got to grind down a little bit of that. Alright, so there we go. Well, I got a starting piece now. Let's weld a piece of, let's weld a piece. So now we're going to weld a piece of round stock. I'm going to do 10 inches because I think this one was, I don't know, I mocked it up. Whatever this was, 10 inches seemed to do the trick. Alright, so we got that fried up on there. Alright, so originally I was going to do some flat stock over here and make this so the rim would sit flat. You know, I was just thinking probably the best way to go based on, you know, the way that was. The rim kind of fit in there. It was just too close. And other than, you know, bending this, there's, you know, I don't have ways and means to bend that to where I need to. I was going to add some flat stock and do certain things, but now I think I'm going to add like a saddle, like 2 uprights, not that tall, but 2 uprights just to go on each side of the tire, you know, wherever I need to be. I have to measure that yet, but that's what I'm going to do. And then add some, you know, I might do it like this. I don't know. I'll think about it. I had the heater going, drilling out there. I couldn't hear a damn thing. So just made 2 holes in the end of this stock. Now I'm going to measure back 3 inches. Cut them off. And these are going to be just for a stop for the wheel. Just so, you know, putting it on and off, it doesn't slide off the doohickey, the round stock. So I don't know if I showed, I cut a piece of round stock 10 inches, welded it into the place where the original, other fella, this guy came off of, cut it off, right? Welded a bigger stock on there, straight, and at the same angle. You know, this is going to sit on this bar, like I was saying, like so. So this is going to hold the tire just from sliding out. You'll see when it's on there. But I just got it tacked on, I had it tacked when, you know, did my measurements. Welded a little bit there, but I'm going to cut it clean here, and weld it again, grind it down. So this, and then round off all the edges. So this will be clean, and then when you paint it up, it'll look pretty good. So once it's cut off clean, you got something like that. You probably can't see that. A little bit shiny because I was grinding it. See the hole there? I've got it tacked on this side, or, you know, pretty much a weld on this side. But now I'm just going to weld this circle here. Make sure it's good penetration because, you know, it's pretty thick stock. Probably ain't going nowhere. Then I'll grind off the weld and round off these corners. Round off everything so it's no sharp pieces. Something like that. Right? Now we're going to grind that off. Yeah, it's cool to touch now. Something like this. Like we haven't been in there, so it looks like a solid piece of steel. Backside's, you know, so the wheel, when this goes on the thing, you'll see in a second, the wheel is going to come up here, so it can't slide off this way. That's my intentions. And then it's a fat wheel, so I gave it some room here, but then we're going to pin it against, or Velcro it against the upright, you'll see. But I just wanted something when you're sliding on this, you know, through the spokes, when you're setting things up, you know, you don't want it to slide back off. That's the whole reason between, or the idea behind this guy. Once it's painted up, it all looks factory. Before I make 2 more of these exactly the same, I want to make sure that her bike's going to fit on there as well. Otherwise I might have to tweak it or do something different, but I think they should be the same. Universal, you want to stay with universal. Something like that. Alright, I'll take over here. So it's on there, and what I was getting at with these, you know, it's just going to prevent it from sliding back off. And I don't like how it's sitting on metal. Of course I'm going to address that with some pipe. But now you take your Velcro, see here, and you Velcro the fork to this frame member here, and then same thing back there. I'm going to have to cut this in two, so I want to protect it on the frame here and there. But as you can see, you know, you could Velcro it here, even here if you want, and the thing will be solid as Sears. Alright, so her little, take this off here. Her little Rad Rover fits, same thing. So now I can make 2 more identical ones, and have it. I can measure, weigh them both. Yeah, see, it's hitting the frame. So we could Velcro right that to it. Yeah, look, the Rad Rover even has a pad on theirs. But I'm gonna, like I said, get the pad in here a little better. And you Velcro it to the side there. Definitely gonna scratch the rims if I don't treat this this bar here. Alright, so I'm closing in on this. Put some padding on here for the rim to set, you know, set on. And I've got this set up for the one bike, but what I'm doing here is, well, it's just dirt, but see, this is a threaded bunghole, and where that other extension plugs into, let me show you over on the bench. Hold on a second. Well, I'll have to show you in a second, but this thing threads in here, right? See, this is tapered in here, a little point to it. Threads in here, and when you plug in this other spot, it just kind of goes into a hole a little bit, but it's kind of jiggly. I don't really like that, so what I'm trying to do here is, let me set this up. What I'm getting at is this, when this goes through the bunghole, it just kind of sits there, right? And it's threaded up here, and I'll set this up in a second, but the thing's kind of jiggly. So I'm thinking about, I drilled a hole and I tapped it out to these threads, and I'll get a bolt, and maybe the bolt will fit in here, I don't know, but that way when I thread it down, instead of just sitting here on this point like this, let me just set it up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Jiggly, and then I'll put a bolt through it, see if it helps. If it doesn't, that's why I did it back here, a couple inches back, because, you know, I've got a lot to play with, and this whole section here goes right into the receiver. So I just backed it up a couple inches in case it doesn't work out, and I'll use the original hole. But let me back this. I got it all drilled and tapped out. Let me go test this theory here. Hold on a second. And it's kind of raining out, so I can't really go outside. The lighting's pretty bad in here. So this is the original bunghole. He said bunghole. Where's that damn thing? I know here it is. All right. So how this worked before was you'd screw this in, right, and this is the hole, and you would just screw it right in, seat it down, right? And then there's a little clip here just for safety measure in case you know, things came undone. You see this? I don't like this, especially with the uprights on here. It's too clunkety clunky. It ain't going nowhere. It can't come out, but that's just going to bother me. And I did decide to elect not to secure these. What am I looking at here? These ones up here, because I like the way they are quick disconnect. You know, you pull this out and this thing comes right off. But with the bike on there, the weight of the bike, they don't really jiggle, so I'm okay with that. But this, I'm not okay with. This is all the way tightened. and it's a little bit too jiggly wiggly. So I just tapped that other hole out, and there's the one I tapped out. Here's the one I was just testing. I have the bolt. So I got this bolt here, and I think this is going to work out better because it's going to thread in through here and then into here. I'm just going to secure it. I think I got a wrench here. Now we'll just send her down. Probably better with a ratchet, but yeah, it's not moving now. Solid. Even back here, grabbing the handles. This is where the problem was before. See now these uprights, nothing's going to jiggle. It's solid. So I like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I think I got one modified generic universal bicycle rack to fit an e-bike, or to make it so it's for an e-bike. I think it came out pretty good, but honestly you could probably make this whole rack system, you know, but I like that it's in pieces, because as you can see the bed folds down, the tailgate folds down, and I could throw all these pieces in the truck or even in the cab so nobody steals anything. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 pieces, but that piece on the bottom is bolted to the receiver, so that's kind of going to remain there. Nobody's going to steal that without a 22-inch or 22 millimeter, you know, wrench or socket. So let me show you how easy this is to set up and put together. Same thing with the back. Pick a fat spoke. Oh, there's a tire valve there. Schrader valve, you don't want it on that. Or a reflector. There's a good spot right there. Alright, so, and again, these should be able to rotate. I got them set up so, which is good because you take your, I like that you can rotate the pedals, because you can take your chain lube before you ride your bike, right? Actually, on a derailleur's better. And she's all lubed up. Anyways, let me take it a little closer and show you the Velcro part. Alright, now I got everything secured. This Velcro goes around a frame piece. You know, now everything's secure. It ain't going nowhere. Alright, so there you have it. One universal bike rack modified for an e-bike holder. Yeah, everything's secure. That's a wrap. I think it came out pretty good. So now I don't have to worry about just throwing the bikes in the back of the pickup truck, letting them slosh around. They're good to go. Plus now I can use the pickup for, you know, if I'm transporting the bikes, I can also have it to, you know, so your bikes ain't hanging in here. Anyways, that's all I got. Alright, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.